What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another episode of NBA Weekly. I'm your host, Pee Wee the Plug. And man, oh man, today was a day that I was looking forward to. It was a day that everybody in the basketball community was looking forward to. This Sunday was 2 Game 7s. I'm talking about Giannis, Tatum, Luka, Booker. High intensity, high level playoff basketball, Game 7, win or go home, leave everything on the floor. Eastern Conference, Western Conference Finals, 4 games away from potentially going to the NBA Finals. Legacy defining situations potentially for some people. And we got the Bucks losing by 28 in the first game, which had me like damn, that was kind of Then the second game, when you think it could get no worse, the Suns at home lose by 33 points. Literally, from beginning to end, had no chance against the Dallas Mavericks. And that's the game we're going to start with first. I know the Bucks and Celtics played first, but the Suns just got off my TV screen. They're fresh on my mind. I'm so disappointed. Very rarely do we see talents like Luka where they can take over a game and dominate single-handedly from start to finish. He came out of the gate 8 points in a row. We've seen turnaround, step back fades from the 3-point line over guys like Cam Johnson. We've seen him back down DeAndre Ayton like he was a 6-foot guard. I mean, the amount of pressure he put on Phoenix that opened up all type of opportunities for his other teammates. Shout out to Spencer Dinwiddie. He came to play. Jalen Brunson in the second half got going. Defensively, they've always brought a certain toughness, but tonight it really showed the fight that they had on the glass, loose balls. They just weren't intimidated by the Suns how I thought they would be, just because the Suns are the more seasoned team. They just came off the championship run. They came back this year, the best team in the NBA by far. This series is going 7 games, and no team has won on the road. So in my mind, I thought the Suns were going to come in, play a good game. Maybe the Mavs will make it tough. Maybe we get a nice game from Luka, but the seasoned team and a more complete team on paper will walk out with the W. But I was wrong. The Phoenix Suns came out and laid a dud. I cannot imagine how it feels right now to be a Phoenix Suns fan. Everything seemed lined up for them, and they literally did not come to play tonight. And I know we throw that around a lot in basketball conversations. He didn't come to play. Blah, blah, blah. The Phoenix Suns legitimately did not come to play basketball tonight. Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, just one of the weakest performances I've ever seen. At half, they had 1 field goal combined between the 3, and I think it was a DeAndre Ayton dunk. Everything else that they scored was from the free throw line. And yeah, like Luka really picked them apart. It was special to see. And I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked. I cannot really put the words together. I don't even have box score numbers or anything. Like the Suns legitimately didn't come to play, start to finish, to be down and to have 27 points at the half. Luka has 27 at the half, and the Suns have 27 at the half. That's like video game number stuff. Legitimately, I was so ready to talk about this and to just let the Suns have it that I didn't even wait for the post-game interviews. I really cannot wait to see what these guys have to say for themselves at these post-game interviews, because this is the type of loss that make you not want to show your face. So I cannot wait to what they got to say. And yeah, it was just, like I said, there's no box score numbers that are going to really indicate anything. They really just got outplayed. Yes, the Dallas Mavericks hit a bunch of tough shots, but they came out focused, sharp, and ready from the start. I really did not like the fact that they just continued to allow Luka to go at all of the bigs, whether it was Aiden, JaVale, Bismack, Biyombo. To me, that was just like weird. We talking about Luka Doncic, like he's one of the top players in the league, and you just letting him have his way in a closeout Game 7. There was really no adjustments made. And like I said, the lack of fight. A lot of possessions were just Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and even Aiden they didn't take over how I expected them to. This is a team that was the best team in the NBA this season by far, like I said. And they are the second team that has won 60-something games and won't be going to the conference finals. I think the other team was the Dallas Mavericks. I forget what year, 2011 or something like that. Or 2006, man. I forget. One of the Mavericks teams didn't make the conference finals after winning 60 games, and now the Phoenix Suns joined them. I think I saw somebody tweet me that Chris Paul has the most lost series after starting 2-0, which is 8. So 8 times Chris Paul has started a series 2-0 and his teams have given up the 2-0 lead, which is kind of crazy. And that's apparently a record, somebody was saying. But yeah, all in all, this game was probably the most disappointing game of all the playoffs. Everything just lined up for us to have a tough battle. And for this team, if there was going to be any team that I would expect it to fold, it would have been the Mavericks. They were just happy to get Luka out of the second round. First year with Coach Kidd. You look at the paper, the teams on paper, the names. Aiden was just a big mismatch problem for them throughout the course of this series. Whenever he was on and came out aggressive, Chris Paul, you know, the point guard, Booker, Mikal with his defense, Cameron Johnson, a 6th Man of the Year candidate. The Mavericks were a team that I thought if anybody was going to come out and be disappointing or, you know, not be as at their best, it would be them. You know, the inexperienced team, you know, they don't have the most notable names, but all of that went out the window. They were hungry, they were aggressive, and they came out and they made a statement. I can't wait to see how they play against the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. I think we got to get a lot of love to Coach Kidd. A lot of people shitted on that hiring. A lot of people since the Bucks and the Nets coaching situations have tried to dog his name as a coach, and I just think that his name should be respected now. The way he turned his defense around. The way they got through last series without Luka, getting through this series against the best team in the NBA, CP3. Like, this team is tough. This team is very, very tough. And seeing the Warriors not absolutely crush and kill and dominate the Grizzlies makes me interested in this series. I think the Mavericks have a better chance than a lot of people will give them. And I'm just going based off everything I've seen, the way they hung with the Suns, the way the Grizzlies hung with the Warriors. The fact that Draymond Green is their center for the Warriors, so there's no size. The Dallas Mavericks can comfortably play Maxi Kleber at the 5 and Dwight Powell and not feel the way that they felt against Aiden when he was just dominating for a couple of the first games. So that's going to be a very, very interesting matchup. As far as the Bucks, one thing about the Bucks is they were on the road and they didn't have Chris Middleton, which they haven't had him all series. No excuse for him, but it gives them a little bit of a difference than the Suns. The Suns were at home and had a complete team. But the Bucks just didn't have anybody step up, man. It seemed like Giannis was kind of out there by himself, and even he didn't have his best shooting game or whatever. He had a nice 20-20 game with some assists and whatnot. But anytime you're shooting 12% from 3, it's just not going to cut it. Grant Williams himself, again, another situation when Luka himself had as many points as the Mavericks had, as the Suns had at halftime. Grant Williams outshot the Bucks from 3. Grant Williams shot 7 threes and the Bucks shot 4 of 33. 12% in a closeout game on the road where you're going to need somebody to make some type of shots. And that's all I've been saying. That's all I've been saying is they don't have to have guys shoot 50%. Nobody has to break any records from 3. But in order to compete against the Celtics defense with Giannis, guys have to make shots. And I feel like we haven't seen Grayson Allen disappear since the first game. Wesley Matthews, nothing. Connaughton, 0 for 5 from 3. You got to give Giannis something, man. You got to give Giannis something because we know in the half-court offense, the Celtics have shown that they have the size and they have the defense to kind of neutralize Giannis and not allow him to dominate the game from the interior aspect. So the more and more you missing shots, the more and more they get to pack the paint and feel comfortable leaving to go help and close driving lanes for Giannis. And that's when we saw. And they didn't get enough stops. Transition basketball is where the Bucks thrive to me. And Grant Williams, a lot of open shots. You take them, you make them, and that's what I was putting on Twitter. Derek White was a guy to me that was frustrating because I just don't feel like he was playing confidently. And even with a lack of confidence, he just played with a sense of fear. You know, when you're out there and the guys are giving you shots and they're disrespecting you by not guarding you, you have to shoot the basketball. You have to let it fly. It's only two outcomes that can come when you shoot the basketball. You're either going to make it or miss it. So there's nothing to be scared of. You either make it or you miss it. Literally. And that's the mentality Grant Williams had, and that's why he had a successful night. Anytime Grant Williams is leading you in scoring and you're the boss of Celtics, you're probably going to have yourself a W. So shout out to him for stepping up. Jason Tatum, as always, made all of the big shots in the first half when the Bucks was kind of coming out early, trying to put their foot down. The Celtics kept fighting. I felt like Jason Tatum did a very good job early in the first half, making shot after shot. Jaylen Brown came out really aggressive. And Al Horford is just one of the most intelligent big men that we have in the league. And even when he's not having his 30-point games, when you watch the game and you see the plays that he makes, you see how important he is. And it was nice to see Coach Bud embrace him after the game because of their relationship and past that they had with the Atlanta Hawks. The Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics is going to be very interesting. This is two teams who can play defense. Jimmy Butler has been on another level. Jason Tatum has been incredible. Bam Adebayo, Robert Williams, Al Horford. I don't know what's up with Kyle Lowry's injury. That's going to be something that we got to watch and we got to see. Definitely interested to see how the Heat do this. It's a lot of dirty work guys, Grant Williams and PJ Tucker. This is going to be a very, very nice, gritty series, and I'm excited to see how this takes off. I want to see how they defend the Heat, the Celtics, because they've had an incredible playoff run defensively with how they guarded the Nets and Kevin Durant and Giannis and the Bucks, and now you have Jimmy Butler and the Heat. Though Jimmy Butler and the Heat aren't as explosive as the other two teams that I named that they've seen previously, but they do have a very, very good team. And just the battle, the grittiness, the toughness, the fight, the dog, is going to be very, 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 very good and entertaining. And the Celtics to go 7 games with the Bucks and get beat up bad. Marcus Smart took a lot of tough hits this entire series. They got to get right back up. And one day, Tuesday, they playing against the Miami Heat. Miami has been able to chill. They're the home team, the higher seed. And this is it. It's for all the marbles. The Suns, I'm speechless on the Suns, but this year we're going to have a new finals and we're going to have a new champion. And it's going to be the Mavericks, the Warriors, the Heat, or the Celtics. That's going to be very interesting. Jimmy Butler getting the ring, very interesting. Jason Tatum this early in his career getting the ring, very interesting. Luka getting a ring this early, super interesting. Steph Curry getting a ring after the KD era, where I think a lot of people didn't think the Warriors would be able to get back, and obviously having a chance to get his first Finals MVP. There's a lot of good narratives that we could have with these conference finals. That's all I got, though. On a night like this, where you got a team losing by 28 and another team losing by 33, it ain't much for me to say. You know what I mean? At that point, it's just you didn't come to play. You got two teams who didn't come to play and two teams that did. The Boston Celtics did make 22 threes. Any night you can get a team making 22 threes, it's going to be very, very hard to beat them. I'm just so proud and ecstatic to see Grant Williams have the night he had, because I think that's what basketball is all about. Having somebody step up, and that's what really frustrated me with the Bucks. They just cannot have another person step up. It looked like it could be Brook Lopez. He had a nice first half. Didn't really do nothing after that. Bobby Portis was an emotional mess all over the game. I just don't know what he was on. But yeah, nobody for the Bucks could step up and match what Grant Williams was giving the Celtics. And I think that was basically it. The Suns didn't even show up to play. I'm about to try to watch their post-game interviews and see what they got to say about themselves, because that was a big mess and a big disappointment for basketball fans. And they got a lot of things they got to figure out going into this offseason. DeAndre Ayton situation has been talked about since last year. So now we here. Going to be interesting to see which route they take and how they make themselves better to get back into the situation. It's tough. As always, though, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I am Pee Wee the Plug. This is NBA Weekly, Western Conference, Eastern Conference Finals. Things about to heat up. I'll see y'all next time. I'm out. Peace.